out here at the range again. We got the TP9DA. I get all these numbers mixed up, but this is the Canik TP9DA. Very easy to identify because it has the decocker on the slide here. We've already done a tabletop on this, so we ain't gonna talk too much about it. We're just gonna shoot it, see how it feels, how it shoots, report it to you guys, how accurate we happen to be with it. So what I'm gonna do right now is I've already chambered around, and I'm just gonna push the decocker here, and I'm gonna see how it feels from that very heavy 11-12 pound pull from a decock play. See, you know, how accurate I can be had, you know, should I have to pull it out and use it from that, you know, from that decock state, which I probably would not. But let's just see how that does. Yeah, that's a very, very heavy trigger, and but you can get used to it. Again, I tell you that the Canik reminds me a lot of like my P09, my P07. Very accurate, very easy to shoot. That's if you chose to carry it around that way, where you chambered one, decocked it, I don't really know necessarily why you would want to do that. The striker safety that you would normally see back here goes away when you do that, and you basically turn it into a revolver trigger essentially. Again, I guess you might would want to do that for safety reasons. Like if I carried it in a holster and that trigger was covered, the last thing I'd be worried about would be a 5 or 6 pound trigger. But if you do, and you do want to carry it that way, you know, it is very heavy, just know that. And so you're waiting for it to break kind of deal, and you miss your target. I mean, if you had to shoot it like that, I guess you could get used to it. I mean, you have to really pull it back slow because it is very heavy in that decock state. But once it's fired the first time, you can see how far back the trigger is, and it is very light, very crisp. And oh my goodness, you know, that Canik reset, you just can't beat it, you know. So let's put another magazine through it on the taller target here, and see how she does. And again, you can put it in here. I do not at all recommend this, but you could stage the trigger like that there once you chamber one, and that's almost as if you've put one down range, and it basically come back to its not really its reset point, but it's
single action state.
Yeah, so it's Canik, nobody recommends doing that. I'm just telling you that you can do that if you was carrying it around in a holster, and you know, now you pull it see, now you pull it out, and you know, you have that very, very short trigger. I don't necessarily recommend doing that. It's probably not a good idea. You might accidentally shoot something you didn't mean to shoot. I don't know, can you hear that reset on the... I mean, everybody talks about a Glock reset. Say, can you hear that? Can you hear that? The reset on the Canik is super, super nice. Very short, very crisp trigger pull. The one thing that I'll say different between this and the CZ, this is, at least for me anyway, I'm not going to say that this is the case for everyone, but for me, with the CZ, if I'm aiming dead center of the target, not only does it hit dead center of the target multiple times in one magazine, but it stays there. It's very consistent. And although the Canik is, and another thing about the CZ2 is that it's the only gun that I can shoot with both eyes open. I'm not really sure what that's about. Haven't never really done any research on it. But every other gun, it seems like, you know, that I have to close my left eye. But the thing about this one and most of the Caniks that I have is, yes, I shoot very well with it. I, for the most part, hit where I'm shooting, but it seems to be not, the grouping doesn't seem to be quite as good. I mean, we're using old CCI, a little bit of Winchester. It's a mix of stuff. But the grouping doesn't seem to be as good with the Canik versus, say, my CZ or some other pistol that I may be very accurate with. But nonetheless, you pretty much hit right where you're shooting every single time. Very fun gun to shoot. And as you can see, like with any Canik we have, to my knowledge, again, like I've said about others, I don't know that we've ever had a malfunction. We might have had one or two failure to feeds with the Canik, something we can't necessarily say about the CZ, but other than that, you know, it's a solid piece. I'm not sure about this finish. We don't have a bunch of ammo to shoot because it's scarce right now, but we'll report to you on how the finish holds up. I'm a little leery about that color, you know, and about the Cerakote holding up, but let's just shoot it a little bit, why don't we? Oh, what happened there? Ooh. You can always tell when you hit the sweet spot on that target, can't you?
Yeah, you can.
I'm gonna go down here and spray paint one of these targets, and Trey hasn't got to shoot this gun. Most of the guns that we do on the channel, a lot of times we've shot it previously before. Maybe it's a gun that we owned previously and we've already shot it. I just can't say enough about any of the CZs. I mean, I'm sorry, the Caniks that we've shot. I can't say enough about them. You know, just the functionality, just the overall feel, performance, accuracy, triggers. Oh my God, the triggers are freaking awesome. I can go ahead and tell you, just by being on the range today and getting to experience in a range application, this decocker, I would never use it. I'm not a fan of it. Honestly, I got it because it was there. But I would never use that. Not a fan of it. But other than that, the trigger is just like the trigger on any other Canik that we've shot. Very nice white dot front sight. The U-notch blacked out rear worn sight, but they're both worn sight. Very easy to acquire and pick up. I'm gonna walk down here and paint this target.
Get to come out and shoot some nice Caniks and enjoy, yeah, and just enjoy being outside with all this quarantine crap going on.
Yeah. I mean, you know, the COVID ain't going anywhere. So
no, it ain't.
You're probably gonna end up getting it, you know. So,
that's right.
It's just unfortunate, but you can't stay indoors forever.
I don't know if I pulled this trigger, to be honest.
Shoot the
Dry firing it.
Shoot it with the decock and just tell me what you think about that.
All right, I'm gonna go for the small target.
Are you?
Yeah. Something about that tall one just looks off again. Maybe our shotgun shell fell out, our little shim that we made. A shotgun shell shim.
Short target for a short fella.
That's right.
Oh, he done decocked it. Look at him.
Yeah, buddy.
Tell me what you think.
Get my eyes.
Yeah, you better do that.
So my film setup, you know, I got these ears, but my shooting setup, you got another set of ears and the shades, right?
He's real particular.
That's right. Well, the shades, when you put it, ain't important.
He's a particular kind of guy.
Gosh, I hate that.
That's heavy.
Yeah.
Definitely wouldn't pull it by accident.
No, you wouldn't.
Oh. That's some good shooting, Leroy.
That's not bad right there.
Yeah.
I like it. I mean, it's
Well, I mean, once you get past the decock trigger, it's like any other Canik we have. I mean,
if you're not expecting that trigger pull on that decocker, it'll put something in you.
hey, you hit the target though.
I did, but I hate that.
But once you get beyond that, it's just like all the other CZs
It
we
is.
have. You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
same trigger reset.
Well, that's
same
what makes
pull.
this gun unique. It's got a decocker on it, and it's a semi-auto.
Why did I say CZ again? Canik, I mean Canik.
Well, we shot both today.
Yeah, we did. Anyway, it's like any other Canik we have, except it has a decocker. It has basically a three-stage trigger, I think, or a 3 setup trigger. It has 3 different positions that the trigger can be, that the gun can be fired from.
I don't know about that finish. I hadn't really paid much attention to it till you mentioned it, but I don't know. It's kind of unique in a way. It's odd because I don't know if this is the case or not, but a lot of times on the engravings you'll see like a different color, but it seems to be fairly consistent throughout all the engravings, through the finger rest or the thumb rest for that matter on the sides.
But yeah, the one thing that somebody said that you know me being the aesthetics kind of guy that I am, that worried me is that someone said that the finish on theirs it chipped real easy, didn't hold up where the shell casings were hitting around in here, that it was chipping it up. I mean, you saw the first shots we fired through the gun 100%. You saw the very first shot that was put in it, and so we put 3 magazines, and what are those, 18 rounders,
Right.
so what's the math on that? 38, 48,
54.
yeah, something like that. And it doesn't seem like there's any chip marks or anything on it. I think from the picture the guy sent, I mean, it looks like there might be a little something there. I'm not really sure. I probably hit it or bumped it or something, but it looked like the guy dropped it from what I could tell.
He might have, yeah.
You know, kind of like people said about the 44, the G44, about them exploding and stuff of that nature. You know, I don't know about all that. I think people being all dramatic and whatnot, but this was turned out that this color, we had a lot of debate about it on the channel, but it turns out that this color was Patriot Brown. That's what Canik calls it. And I think I'm just gonna shoot it one more time, just rapid fire it at our old Freon jug down there and see if I can get lucky and hit it, because the last time I hit the Freon jug, I hit it with a Canik, you know.
Yeah, what was it, which Canik was it? It was it Series 1?
Yeah.
Might have been.
Yeah, well, it was the other ugly Patriot Brown,
Yeah.
olive, drab, whatever color it is that we have. But usually rapid fire guns, I'm not really sure why. I mean, you know, people say, oh, well, can you rapid fire with it? You know, I'm sure you can.
Rapid fire just comes down to trigger discipline.
I mean, the price point on the Canik, this one I paid around 400. It's like 389, something like that. I mean, you just can't beat that for what it is. This in the Series 1, which basically is what this is with a decocker. I mean, whoop-de-doo, right?
Right.
This in the Series 1 is basically the same gun, and is very comparable to the Glock 19, just in my opinion. I've heard nobody say that. Canik didn't say that. That's just my personal opinion. I'm a rapid fire. I bet you I won't even touch that Freon jug. I mean, it is 60 yards away, so.
I'll keep an eye on it.
Well, we'll be honest if I do, right?
That's right.
We didn't touch it.
I think you hit around it. You scared it.
It might have moved a little bit.
Yeah, you scared the heebie-jeebies out of it.
But yes, it'll rapid fire, you know, just in case anybody was wondering, you know. It's a Canik. We didn't think it wouldn't. You know, I'm not going to say, you know, most of the guns we shoot, we do a review. It's like, I could sit there and do that all day. Canik triggers are freaking awesome. If you walk in the store and find a better trigger than that, even on a 1911, you're lying. Maybe a Walther. Maybe. But I ain't gonna necessarily recommend, unless you just want to tell people you got a striker fire pistol with a decocker. I'm not gonna necessarily recommend you go out and buy this one. We bought it because it had the decocker, which was kind of odd. I mean, I guess you could get used to it. You could stage the trigger, pull it from there. You can rack it back, pull it from there. It's like 5 pounds. Great reset. Decock it, the striker goes away. I'm not going to necessarily recommend go. If you want a Canik, just go get the 1 series, the SFX or something. You know, this, you know, that I guess this is not really necessary. I don't even know why it's there. I just thought it was freaking awesome because decockers was only on revolvers up until that point. But if you want one, it'll do just as good as any other Canik you have. You don't have to decock it. So thanks for watching the video. Hit the like. Ask any questions you may have about the gun. We do have a tabletop up about it that probably would answer some of those questions. Be sure you watch the videos in their entirety and like our Facebook page. And we couldn't do it without you guys. Thanks for watching.